Hello everybody, this is Tony Everyday and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as you know, we're working on an Airbnb project. This is the back studio apartment that I mentioned in the first video before. Before this, there used to be a boiler unit over here, and then there was a washer and dryer unit, which made no sense for a studio apartment at the time. So we went ahead and ripped out all of the walls, and we moved the washer and dryer unit and the boiler unit to the outside of the house where we're building a shed, and we can enclose it there. I'll show you guys in the video footage later on how we went ahead and ripped all this open and we set everything on the outside. So you guys stay tuned for more updates. We are currently still renovating the front portion of the house, so the bathroom should be complete by the end of this week. And you guys stay tuned for that footage as well. So like, subscribe, comment below and share with your friends.
So here we have all of the power that's going to be running to the stove. That power originally was feeding the washer and dryer units. Here we have the hot and cold setup for the washer units. And then over here, we had the electrical for the boiler setup, which we're going to be running to the outside of the house now. So here you can see that we opened up the wall completely. We went ahead and rotated the hot and cold setup to the outdoors for the laundry setup that we're going to have outside of the unit. We also ran a hot and cold for the sink that's going to be placed right there when we have the kitchen cabinets completely installed. All of the power has been completely ran to the outside, which is going to be feeding the laundry unit and the boiler unit as well. So what we ended up doing was, in order to feed power to the stove inside of that studio unit, we ran a PVC piping along the side here with joints that fed power directly through that piping into the side of the house right here that fed directly into the kitchen. Inside the kitchen is where the breaker box is currently located, so we ended up having to house the power directly from there. So here on the other side of the studio apartment, we went ahead and created an opening so that way we can reroute all of the plumbing that's going to be going from the boiler that was relocated from inside to the outside here. So once we have the boiler located here, we're going to go ahead and create a shed so that way we can keep it protected from the elements, because it rains tremendously here at South Florida. As well, here we have the power for our washer and dryer setup, and then we have an outdoor spout for anything else. So here we have the boiler setup. We ran all of the plumbing to it as well as the electrical. And then here we have the hot and cold setup for the washer unit that's going to be placed on the outside. Now, unfortunately, in order for adding additional plumbing to the inside of the house that's going to be feeding the sink for the kitchen, we had to reroute some of the plumbing through the outside of the house because the studs that are within the wall weren't thick enough for us to route the plumbing within them. So if we would have cut those studs, the house would have collapsed beneath us. So here on the inside of the house, and that's going to be the laundry box that's feeding the hot and cold through the outside. And then here we spliced the plumbing so that way we could feed it hot and cold for the sink that's going to be running the kitchen on the inside. Now, this is the hole that was on the outside of the studio apartment that we have to run through the outside, that we try to run directly through the stud here, but that PVC piping was way too thick for us to want to compromise the structure of the home and drill through it so that way we could feed it plumbing. And this is kind of the final product. The walls are finally all patched up, and that was originally where the laundry setup was. We have all of the power completely rerouted, and then here we have our new sink setup for the kitchen that's going to be inside of the studio. There we have it. That's part one of our studio rental for our Airbnb project. Thank you guys for watching. I want you guys to stay tuned. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. And until next time, peace.